On a cold morning here in southwest Montana. We are right on the border of Idaho. We want to welcome you to Big Hole National Battlefield. We're heading out to Big Hole right now, another national park, and we are driving through southwestern Montana, and it is extremely remote. We've been driving now for about an hour and a half. Haven't seen a store, haven't seen a gas station, maybe one or two cars on the road. Definitely a beautiful area, very scenic, but yet not much life here.
This is a place where one of the most devastating battles in the history of the American West was fought. A sacred place where the bones of men, women, and children still lie.
So the troops made their attack from my left going this way, and the Indian camp was located right in this area. We are down right now on the actual battlefield itself. There are 3 trails that you can take. They're called the battlefield trails. Just because our time is limited, we're doing one, which is the battlefield trail that'll take us to the actual encampment where the Native Americans were that morning that they were attacked. So it's about a 2-mile round trip. So let's get going. I like to just have fun at the national parks, and we just like to goof around and really enjoy ourselves. But you come to these battlefields, and they're such a sober place of remembrance, especially when you understand that many men, women, and children died on the very grounds that we are standing on. So they are sacred. Many people come here to pay respect to the loved ones that they lost. So you need to treat these places as hallowed grounds and honor the people that lost their lives, again, for a variety of reasons. Some were just trying to find a safer place, a happier place to live. Some were following orders given to them by commanding officers. There was a lot of confusion back then. Treaties, broken treaties. People did what they thought was right, but it led to conflict and a lot of hostility. And we are here seeing the remnants and the scars of hatred when people can't get along and work together for one common purpose. And when people refuse to hear other people's perspectives and understand where people are coming from on a given issue. But it leads to conflict, bloodshed, and we are standing on the very place where that took place. The Nez Perce knew that this was an ideal place to make camp. Buffalo, meadows where their horses could graze, abundant water, logs for constructing teepees. So this is where they made their settlement just before they were attacked. So they set up camp on August 7th. When the US government attacked this camp on August 9th, 1877, it started off with 1 shot. And then after that 1 gunfire shot, they raided the teepees. Some of the warriors and children and women ran. Other warriors grabbed their guns and fought back. The original plan from Gibbon was just to come up to these teepees that we're approaching right now and to encircle them. And the belief was that the natives would just surrender. They'd move their way into this open plain off to my right, and then there would be somewhat of a peaceful resolution to this conflict. But after those guns started firing, all pandemonium broke loose and full-out war ensued. So this was the Nez Perce village right here. All in all, they had 89 teepees constructed. This is the spot where the federal government charged into this location. After the warriors started fighting back, Gibbon realized out in this open meadow he was unable to hold his position. He was very vulnerable. as the Indians were scattered amongst the river and the bushes off in the distance. So they retreated, going in the same direction we're going right now. So much of the hostility between the U.S. government and the Native Americans was a result of different factors, the way I see it. One was greed. When the treaty was signed and the Indians were placed upon the reservation, it was only good enough until the white people realized that we need more land, and the land that we gave them was actually pretty good. And then when they discovered gold in this area, of course that changed everything. And also revenge. It's like, you shot one of ours, now we're going to shoot one of yours, or maybe we'll take two of yours. And since you took two of ours, we're going to even the score and take four of yours. And this vicious cycle between these two parties just kept repeating itself until it would escalate in an all-out warfare of epidemic proportions. It's so strange to walk on these battlefields. So many of them that are preserved by the National Park Service are actually very beautiful areas. As I walk here, I see the flowers blooming, I hear the birds singing. It's gorgeous. And it's hard to believe that this was the actual location, that there was so much terror, that there were men, women, and children screaming for their lives and losing their lives, and seeing their bodies fall on these very grounds, and many of them not even receiving a proper burial. What a horrific place of tremendous bloodshed and hatred that was displayed in an area that we walk on in relative peace.
I thought it was definitely really cool to come here and actually learn about it in person. Because in school, like history classes, they don't teach you a lot about what happened out west in the battles here. It's more about like the Revolutionary War and Civil War. So I really like to be educated on this topic and, learn kind of from both sides about how they both felt.
So I think for me the most interesting part was being out west. I mean, we hear about the Native Americans and the U.S. soldiers fighting against each other, but like actually seeing it, seeing the terrain, how different it is from East Coast, and it's like, it makes it more real. It makes the history kind of come to life. So I thought it was a really great experience coming out here and seeing all that.
Thanks for watching this brief video here at Big Hole National Battlefield. Our desire here at America's Parks is to show you how we interact with America's national parks. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. And as always, remember, there's room for you on our next national park adventure.